General Graardor is the quintessential God Wars boss. I've got many good memories of killing this guy back in the day, and now it's time to take a trip down memory lane with a bit of a twist. We have 4 challenges lined up for the big man himself, starting with a kill time of 10 seconds. Might seem a bit low, but this guy has less hit points than KBD, and we all remember how that went. Next up is an endurance challenge, 2 hours in the ring with no prayer. We tried this at Krill last season, and Necromancy completely dominated it, so let's see how the original freestyles stack up. Now for some fun. Fist contact is an achievement to beat Graardor with your fists, so let's see if we can beat him in a boxing match. And finally, a perfect kill in hard mode using melee. This one combines free combat achievements for not taking damage from any of the specials he gains in hard mode, but we have to do them all in one go and without relying on magic to kite him around the room. The first challenge I decided to tackle was fist contact. At first I was planning to have getting the achievement itself count for this, but after some R&D we found out that you can use god books, familiars, and other sources of damage to cheese this as long as you don't equip a weapon. Screw that, I say. We're doing this the right way. Mano a mano. The only way we're allowed to do damage is with our fists. I'd say let's get our boxing gloves on, but those would also invalidate the achievement. If you want to kill something with your fists, Legacy is the way to go. And since I didn't trust a yak to not nibble at Graardor's tootsies, we're going in with just our own inventory of food. And now, may the best man, or org, win. Okay, we're eating the last shark. Can we do it? Is he gonna die? Is he going down? Oh, that splashed. Those ranged attacks are scary, man. How did that splash again? Oh no, not another one. Come on, please. We actually won. We actually won that. Holy shit. TP out before we die. Also, what the heck? Why is a femur bone? Well, that was closer than I'd have liked, but that's undeniable proof that we've got bigger hands than an org. Is that a good thing? Either way, first challenge knocked out, so let's hop out of Legacy mode and gear up to do a kill on the opposite end of the spectrum. Melee is still our reigning king of killing stuff quickly, so we're once again going to be employing it and its legendary Battle Axe special attack once again. While 40k damage seems like a small amount in theory, especially when you consider that KBD has 45k, the problem with this challenge is that we have to do it in half of a berserk. Can we even get up to a threshold in that amount of time without access to adrenaline potions? Our first attempt was a baseline setter. Pop berserk on pull and build up to an assault. As expected, we're a few ticks out, but thanks to our previous acquisition of Persistent Rage, we can work around this. Persistent Rage doesn't care whether or not you're in a combat stance, but rather whether or not you're in combat with something. So by using Berserk a few seconds before Graardor spawns, we can start the fight having gained some free adrenaline, giving us just enough to be able to use Assault in time for a 9.6 second kill. With 2 challenges down, the next one in our sights is the Endurance Challenge. 2 hours in the ring, no prayer. The go-to in these situations, once you have access to overloads, is the classic yak full of brews, which, when combined with the 23 more flasks in our inventory, is 318 doses of brew, or 318,000 hit points worth of healing. Surely that trivializes this, right? Well, our first run didn't go quite as planned. While over 300,000 points of health is a lot, Graardor's melees can consistently hit over 2k, and in order for 53 brews to last us 2 hours, we need to be using them at a rate of less than 1 every 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Our melee gear does not have the defense to only let 2 hits through every 2 minutes, so we need to change plans. My first thought was to use another style. With ranged and magic being able to start the fight in a corner, Graardor would get less melees in before we take him out, and by standing in this specific corner, we could evade the ire of 2 of the minions for an extended period of time, further reducing our damage intake. I tried this with ranged at first, wondering why no one ever ranged this guy. Well, turns out there's a reason for that, and it's hit chance. Ranged has 20% of the hit chance compared to melee and magic, so magic it is. A small thing to note about chugging brews like crazy is that the timing of drinking brews does actually matter. Overloads rebuff your stats every 15 seconds, but if you chug brews, then it can take multiple rebuffs to get back to full overload status, and without prayer we don't need super restores, so we're not using the classic 3-to-1 ratio to counteract this. So we don't want to be chugging brews while using our hardest hitting abilities. Unfortunately, trying to optimize like this led to a few accidents. I see more sharks on the floor there. No! I should have just drank another brew dose. Even with our corner strat, however, we weren't going through brews slowly enough to be able to survive for 2 whole hours. So we need to either reduce our damage intake further, or find another source of healing. Well, why not both? For the damage reduction, I decided to give up a couple of brews to bring a wand and shield. The idea here being that we're using sunshine every other kill, but for the kills we don't have it, we need 2 rounds of thresholds to finish off Graardor. So if we use our thresholds with our staff, then use defensives with the wand and shield until they're available again, we lose a small amount of damage, but take 50% less by utilizing Reflect. Each time he hits a 2k into Reflect, we essentially gain a brew dose, and hurt him back a little too. As for another source of healing, it turns out that ignoring the minions wasn't entirely optimal. While not aggroing them with Graardor does reduce our damage intake, if we then go and kill them afterwards, the amount of damage we take from them averages out to less than the amount healed by the various food items they drop. With those optimizations made, we began our next 2-hour session. I was gonna just do a quick resonance between thresholds. Chances of it landing on a melee instead of a minion range hit. Okay, so as before, send thresholds, debilitate early, swap to wanded shield and reflect. Once reflect runs out, we can resonance. As I said, resonance wasn't on my bar and I never fixed it. Man, we are getting ever so slightly cooked, aren't we? The thing is, adding complexity should mean... Adding complexity and doing it well means I take less. I take less damage. Adding complexity and doing it badly means I just kill the guy slower. Yeah, I need to use the sunshine while I'm dealing with the minions if I'm gonna do an early one. So midway through the session, I thought back to our idea of using Berserk before Graardor spawns and applying that to Sunshine to up the number of kills we were able to use Sunshine on. If we use a Sunshine 10 seconds before Graardor spawns, then we have it available again when he next spawns. Then we do a slower defensive kill every 3rd kill when we don't have Sunshine. I didn't do this perfectly because we don't have a way to track boss respawns, but if done so, then it means you're sunshining 2 out of every 3 kills instead of every other kill, or a 33% increase in sunshine usage. I'll be sure to keep this in mind for future bosses, although once we move beyond God Wars, bosses are going to start living a bit longer than 20 seconds on average. While our optimizations did help considerably, we still hit the halfway mark not looking great on supply usage. If we go a decent amount of kills without seeing food drops, then suddenly we're drinking brews ahead of schedule. Oh no. The frequency with which I get caught out by that is slightly concerning, but that's why I'm staying more around like 5,000 health instead of lower like I was last time. I mean, I don't know why I'm going lower health. It's like I'm playing as if I have the Berserker's Fury relic and I don't. What the heck was that? Doris go boofing. Is that a Bandos helmet? Our first melee upgrade from Mr. Bandos, or Graardor himself. It still amuses me that old school players still just call these bosses by their god instead of the actual boss's name. Like as if Graardor is any harder to say than Bandos. We do the same mode. Wait, do we? Am I one of the only people that uses their proper name because, you know, content reasons? Then again, I guess no one knows how to say Mechanaz other than me, so... Yeah, the position of the loot interface is really unfortunate for my specific use case where I really care about, like, having the boss timer on screen. I don't know where you'd put it otherwise, though, because, like, the main weakness of doing a UI like this that's really responsive and scalable is you kind of have to have things in corners, right? Like, the action bar is the obvious exception. But yeah, that's why the buffs and debuffs do that, because if the action bars go on top of your chat, there's not enough room on top of them, on top of your action bars then for the buffs and debuffs. So they have to go over the other side of the screen. So that's why the buffs and debuffs are moving. I just don't know why it's doing it when my action bars are staying in the middle. We're kind of at a weird point in the series, to be honest, where I'm having to get a little creative to make things challenging, because we have enough tools available to us to be relatively potent. As you can probably see by the fact that I'm now putting food in my yak so I can pick up more. Yeah, this avoiding the minions was a big whoops the first attempt round. They dropped so much food. Well, they're slowing down with dropping food, but I think we've got enough of it. But either way, this should be the last kill, which means we will be having survived in the ring with Graardor with no prayer for 2 hours, and also these buffs are going up and down. Hopefully they find a way to fix that relatively soon, because it's definitely the thing that would make me go back to. It's definitely the thing that would make me go back to the modern UI instead of sticking with the classic one. I do like the classic one for, like, just the ability to flick between these tabs without having, like, a big L open on my, Oh! Hang on. You snuck in one last spawn! At least reward us with a drop for this intrusion. Okay, that is the last Graardor of the 2 hours. It's not looking like a drop to me. So in our 2 hour session, we got some starved effigies, got a Bandos hilt, a bunch of pieces of War Priest, and a Bandos helmet. But that is 2 hours in the ring with General Graardor, with no prayer, survived. That might have been a little harder than fist contact, I think. Just a little bit harder. So with all the mandatory challenges knocked out for Graardor, we're just looking at a Hydrix challenge left, which is one to do a perfect hard mode melee kill. Now this gets significantly easier with more damage, but why not give it a go now? I'm gonna give a TLDR of what perfect hard mode means, because there isn't a perfect Graardor achievement, and I'm opening the wrong thing. There is not a perfect Graardor achievement, but there are 3 hard mode solo without taking damage from achievements. Defeat General Graardor in hard mode solo without taking damage from his Graardor smash attack. Defeat General Graardor in hard mode solo without taking damage from his Graardor mad attack. Defeat General Graardor in hard mode solo without being hit by damage reflected by his Graardor protect attack. Perfect hard mode is to do all 3 of those, specifically with a melee setup. So we can't just kite him around the room, because kiting him around the room would be... yeah. Would kind of ruin the fun, wouldn't it? Rather than bore you all with the dry explanation of all the mechanics in the fight and how I overcame them, let's just jump straight into it and learn as we go. I did not fail Graardor Protect there. So he's not as punishing as Zaraxor is. I was about to say, where do I know where the rocks are going to fall from? There are shadow indicators. Oh! Okay, it keeps going even after he finishes the slam animation. Okay, I think the Graardor smash is going to be the hard bit of this, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, at least his reflect is less bullshit than the mirrorback spiders. Okay, if I surge during this, I seem to make it so much worse. What? Which one did I get hit by? The second time I know what one I got hit by, but what did I get hit by the first time? Okay, there's no point in zerking because I just don't get enough time to keep hitting him. Okay, so now he's doing his mad thing, so he's just gonna flail randomly. I took 2 small hits there, but it doesn't say that I failed the achievement. It doesn't look like bleeds cause you to fail it. No, I was too slow. I just need to literally be perfectly. As soon as he says anything, I just move. Doesn't matter what he says, just he says anything, I move. Move. Keep moving. Why don't I just insert crazy rotation here? You think I have access to crazy rotations? The heck? Why am I? What stunned me? I took exactly a 250 and got stunned for a bit. But it didn't show the failed the achievement message until a later hit. So I don't think I got hit by a rock? The thing is, there doesn't seem to be much RNG in this, it's just reaction times. And some anticipation, the timing of his special attacks is pretty consistent. Oh, what? Okay, that time I surged. He turned around and hit me while I was surging away. I guess you can't rely on surging through him to deal with that. Okay, we're going straight into a smash this time. Oh god. Yeah, it was an unfortunate spawn right on the corner. There's a bit of RNG with the rock falls. But it's not RNG that makes them impossible, it's just RNG that makes them a little harder. Graardor Smash is easily the hardest mechanic of this achievement. Graardor will smash the area in front of him doing some damage, which sounds simple, but that's only part 1. Part 2 is a series of rock falls that follows the player around the room, dropping rocks on random tiles around you indicated by shadows. Oh, and they AoE for good measure. So while each shadow only covers one tile, each tile around it isn't safe either. So we need to move around the room, finding safe spaces between these shadows, and being super careful not to step under Graardor, because that's what was stunning us earlier. Keep going, dodge rocks, dodge rocks, dodge rocks. No! He went straight into a smash and... I started a channel, so I didn't avoid it. The thing is, after he does a smash, I can't get a channel threshold out anyway. The best I'm going to be able to do after a smash is stick a slaughter on him. Okay. Bleeds do trigger his protect if put on as he starts the protect. Good to know. The problem is if I dive or surge too early in the rock falls, then it kind of causes a rock fall to spawn ahead of where I dive. So I can use it to dodge. I can use it to dodge, but it just then kicks the can down the road and makes it harder afterwards. So So I ideally only want to be using it for dodging the last set. No! There was a shadow under a shadow. So I waited for the first shadow, then ran, and there was another shadow falling straight on top of it. Oh! Oh, just about got out the way. I thought I was getting used to the amount of ticks I had to work with, but... Oh! If he walks over you in hard mode, he stuns you! That's what got me before. Damn it. I can kind of avoid the issue where Mad does damage the same tick, but he uses it by being one tile away when he starts it. There does seem to be like a 2-tile range for him starting abilities. Dang it. I'm trying to like, as he gets close to using a spec, I'm trying to like move around so that he walks into range of me, starts his spec while I'm already moving away, so I can't get hit by it on the same tick he uses it. But if I click him, then I will attack him, and that will kind of lock me in place for a bit and guarantee I get hit. What the heck? Did anyone else just see where Surge put me? It didn't even surge into the wall. It like surged one tile ahead of me and then stopped underneath the rock. What the heck was that? I'm tempted to turn shadows off in the arena so I can actually see a little better. But you can't turn shadows off? Oh, yeah, you can. Back-to-back smashes. It is definitely easier to see the rock shadows without environment shadows, though. Why is this like this? Move. Okay, we didn't get hit. Ooh. Oh, that was close. So his protect seems to last quite a... Oh, no. No, you... Get. I walked under him slightly, so I got stunned. That one was a lot closer, yeah. It somehow feels more chaotic than the lightning in P3 of Wardens. P4? I can't remember which is the last phase of Wardens, if it's just like the end of P3 or... Dang it. I had one good run. Now I'm trying to rush it, and I'm making silly mistakes. Ah, fuck. So I need to get into range of him to trigger the special and be running, not in his direction, to get away from it. Come on. Yeah. Oh, that was risky, but so freaking worth it.